So let us talk about inheritance and polymorphism. Let us start with an example that your friend has coded a class linked list. Now you want to create a better version, or you may call it as a deluxe version of the class he has made. This deluxe linked list class will contain some function, say is empty, and upgraded version of your friend's print function. Your friend has already made a print function, you will be making another function, some other function named as print. So there are certain ways of accomplishing this. First is you take your friend's code and you change. You change in your friend's code only. But there is a problem. What is the problem? This may not be, look pleasing to your friend. He says, whatever you have done, you have changed the look of my program. And your friend's program is the same as your program, so you cannot judge which is the better, which one you have to use. And may you have introduced some error, or rather you have accumulated the error, or the error has been passed on from your friend to your code, because both of you has the same code. Now what you can do is, there is another solution to this. What you can do is, you can have your friend's copy and you copy your friend's copy. Means this is your friend's and this is yours. He has certain things, you have certain things. You have added two functions also, is empty and this upgraded version of print. Now again, there are certain problem in this. What are the problem? First of all, which version to be used? There will be this same stuff. You will have two versions. Which one to use? First problem is this. Second is that your friend has known after some time that okay, I have not done this thing like that. I have to do more, efficient way, or rather he has some bug and he noticed just now. What he will do? He will change here, and you have his code. Who is going to change this? Nobody is going to change this. You have to change it. So these are certain problem of actually copying it, redundancy, error pass on, multiple copies. All these are solved using inheritance, and this is the basic building block of your object oriented design, right? So let me show you what I mean when I say inheritance. This means that this is your friend class and this is your class, and you have inherited your friend's class called linked list into your class. So whenever a friend wants to change something, because you're inheriting, you are not actually incorporating it. You are not copying the code and pasting, you're just inheriting it. So what happens here, if your friend has three functions, say, and you have two functions, so ultimately you will be having five functions. So all the function and properties are inherited by B from A, and we call A as the superclass or the base class, while B will be termed as the inheriting class or the child class, right? We also call it as subclass. So now we have solved those problems, and this A is being inherited by B. B is our base class, A is our superclass. So after this, we will make isEmpty function. You have made this deluxe linked list class. You will just write it return size equal to 0. If size equal to 0, return yes, because this is bool, or no. And one more thing you can do, because we have indicated earlier that you will be writing a print function also, a better function of print than what your friend has written. So this will be some printing of values. You will start with head, means the linked list. This head is pointing to the first node of the linked list, and this also contains the address of the first node of the linked list. And one by one, you pass on from next to next, and finally, till the time you reach null, you print something. So now you have a delimp links class, and this was linked list class. And now you have two functions called print, which is this function, and you have this isEmpty, which is this function inside your class. Hope you got the idea. But when you are going to compile it, there will be an error. What will be that error? The error will be this head. If you have seen the earlier version of this discussion, you might have noticed that in that we have placed head as a private variable. Head was private. Now you are trying to access via this deluxe link class this head, which was actually private in your linked list class. So head is private here, you want to access it here via this print function. How can you do that? You cannot do that. That is why in earlier discussion also I indicated that okay, sometime after, because we have talked about private and public, but I told you that after some time we'll be talking about this protected. Now is the right time to actually discuss protected. Protected is the intermediate access specifier between public and private. Protected will allow only and only the inheriting class to inherit the private member of the base class inside it. I am not saying that you are actually inheriting the private class. If you will make your function or the variable as protected in your base class, you can easily access it just like a public member in your inheriting class. So protected is only and only for inheritance. Let us summarize. If you are making it public, or you have a public this access variables, which variables are given public in your base class, everyone can access. Private, no one can access, only the object of that class can access. But in protected, object of similar or the inheriting class can access the field. So this is the beauty of your protected. Right? So we are going to do what? In our linked list or your friend class, you will just replace that private head with your protected head, and everything will be fine after that. So let us see member visibility, multiple inheritance, and calling base class method one by one. As we have just seen inheritance, it also raises certain issues like, first, whether these subclasses or the inheriting classes can access method and variable from the superclass. First. Second, how to inherit from the multiplus class. Can you achieve multiple inheritance? Then third one, how to explicitly call the member function of not your class, not your base class, or not your subclass, but your base class or your superclass. How are you going to do that? And we are going to see it just now. Inheritance and visibility. First is, have you noticed when I gave this example, I did not talk about this public. What does it mean? I may write protected here. I would have written private also. So what is the importance of these three access specifier out here? Let me discuss it. If I write public there, all member of A has the similar, which is inheriting from B is inheriting from A, have similar protection in B as they were in A, right? So this example we just saw, B will contain, or B will inherit all those values from A with no change in the protection or access specification. What about protected? If you write protected in this, if you write protected or private, if you write protected, then private element of A will remain private in B. There will be no change whatsoever to the private member of A when they are inherited in B, but the protected and public elements of A will both become protected. Please understand, protected will become protected, but the public elements will also become protected. While if you give private, all elements of A which goes to B, it will not depend whether they are public, private or protected, they will all become as private. I hope you got the idea. Then we come to multiple inheritance. What if, first let me tell you, you were B and you have taken a lot of assistance from A and you have inherited A. Now you become greedy. You say C is also there, let me get some values from C also. So I want to inherit multiply from A and C, means A and C. A is 1, A and C become 2, so this will become multiple inheritance, right? So this is called multiple inheritance. But the way as I speak about multiple inheritance, I speak one more thing, that try not to use multiple inheritance. This was the biggest flaw in your C++. That is why Java, which is actually a pure or actual object-oriented language, does not have multiple inheritance. They have, which something called purely abstract classes. In that Java, we call them as interface, which are not inherited, but they are implemented only in this interface. They contain only the this declaration of the class, and definition has to be provided by the inheriting class. Now, calling base class method, how you are going to call the base method? Now, we have discussed that you have done a very good job, you have made a print. But what if somebody comes, he says, no, I don't want to use your print, I want to use that print which has been made by your friend A. So it is quite easy. You just use the name of the class with scope resolution operator and just write the function name. It will directly call it. For example, in this deluxe link function, you can have a print. You can do whatever you want, but you can have a line or a statement called linked list. This is the class of whom, from where this print function you want to call, and this is all what you have to do. Don't worry, this print function is going to call this print function again and again, and this is going to go in the recursion. This will not happen. Then class relationship. There are three types of class relationship, because we have actually talked about inheritance. So there will be three types of relationship. First is a, then we have as a, and then we have a has a. Three type of relationship. Is a relationship means B is A or B is an A. That is, B is a more specific version of A. What does it mean? Say a cat. Cat is a mammal. But cat also has its specific properties. So cat will always have more functions, more variables than mammal. Right? And how to implement this? This is done by public inheritance. This is implemented using public inheritance. And now as a relationship. So B as A or B as an A. what it does, it refers to implementing a class using the functionality of A. For example, a couch. Couch can be used as a bed. Couch can be used as a chair as well. So this is how the couch can be used in two ways. So couch as a bed and couch as a chair. This is as a relationship. But while you are going to implement it, you have to implement it using protected and private inheritance. Then we have has a relationship. B has A. What does it mean? B has A means a car has a radio, but it doesn't mean that car has a radio station as well. Car has a radio. So this is has a relationship, and you don't have to do anything private, protected, or public. You just have to use this class inside your class. No inheritance. This has a relationship does not require any inheritance. Just make a class B inside it. Just make a member variable of A inside a class. So make a class inside a class, or make a variable of the class inside a class that has a relationship. So thank you so much. Hope you got some idea, but we'll be talking about this more. Till then, thank you so much. Take care.